To Michael, it was the line between love and despair. But no one knew that soon, the chair would be empty. And when it was, it wouldn't just be a missing seat by a hospital bed, it would hold a story so heavy, no one who passed by would ever forget it. The empty chair was coming. The night it happened was quiet, unnaturally quiet. Outside, rain tapped softly against the hospital windows, as though the world itself was holding its breath. Inside room 307, Michael sat in his chair, fingers interlaced with Anna's, his eyes fixed on her fragile face. She looked peaceful, too peaceful. Her breaths were shallow, her chest rising only slightly with each effort. Machines blinked and beeped, but even they seemed slower, quieter, as if they, too, were preparing to say goodbye. Claire entered the room to check on Anna. She paused when she saw Michael. His posture had changed. He wasn't leaning forward in desperation. He was sitting back, shoulders heavy, eyes glistening with tears he didn't bother to hide anymore. She didn't speak. Sometimes silence is the kindest thing you can offer. Hours passed. Michael never moved. He whispered stories of their first date, their wedding day, the laughter of their children. Anna's eyes never opened, but Michael believed, he had to believe, that somewhere, she could still hear him. Then came the moment. The monitor let out a sound Michael had dreaded for weeks, a long, flat tone that cut through the stillness like a blade. Anna's hand grew cold in his. The weight of reality pressed down with a force that nearly broke him. Claire rushed forward, but Michael raised his hand. "Don't," he whispered, voice trembling. "She's tired. Let her rest." The room was filled with silence. The kind of silence that doesn't just surround you, it swallows you whole. Michael sat for a long time, unmoving. His hand never left hers until finally, he leaned forward and pressed his lips to her forehead. "Thank you," he whispered. "For every moment, every smile, every breath we shared. Thank you, for loving me." And then, slowly, he stood up. He looked at the chair, one last time. The chair that had carried his hope, his grief, his prayers. He didn't take it with him. He didn't need to. It had done its job. When the nurses entered later, the chair was empty. Just an ordinary chair, yet no one could bring themselves to sit in it again. It became a quiet monument, not to death, but to love, devotion, and gratitude. To outsiders, it was furniture. To those who knew the story, it was sacred. Because sometimes, the simplest things, a chair, a hand held in silence, hold the greatest lessons. And in that empty chair lived a truth that would echo forever. Gratitude is not just for the joys we are given, but for the love we are blessed to lose, knowing it was once ours to hold.